Come on by. They got grapes for just $1.68 per pound. They got Nabisco snack crackers. That's chicken and a biscuit. That's Ritz crackers for just $2.99 as well. $2.99 Jack's Pizza. Can't beat that for late night food either. So come on by Hy-Vee. These deals are going on Friday through Sunday here, Clinton and Castle. All right, college football game picks, Dan. You want to start this off in the top 25?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start it off in the top 25. Got a lot of big-time games that aren't in the Big 12, right? I mean, you obviously have the big one of Texas Tech and Utah. We'll get to that one, but let's go outside of the Big 12. Got 4 that I really want to highlight. Number 1 is Auburn against OU. That is a very exciting matchup. It's number 23, I believe, against number 22 against number 11, but it's at OU. As of right now, Auburn is a 7-point dog at OU. Over-under is 46.5. I don't believe in Auburn whatsoever. I still am out on them. I don't think that they should be a ranked squad, even though they did go into Waco and they beat up on Baylor. They've looked okay. I still think they're fraud. They're on fraud watch for me. I like OU in this game at -7. I know the public likes Auburn, but give me OU -105 and -7. Give me the under in this game too. Under 46.5. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring.
The next one I want to highlight, also pitting 2 top 25 teams, also a team that people probably automatically put in the fraud watch category just because it's Indiana football.
Right, yeah.
Indiana football, ranked number 19 in the country. They
That's
are
right.
home dogs. +6.5, hosting number 9, Illinois. We knew Illinois, after we lost to them last year in Champaign, was a program on the rise. Brett Bielema's squad is 3-0, but Indiana, home dogs, +6.5, over under 52.5.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Altmaier is the real deal, right? And, look, Indiana, I understand it's at Indiana. It's going to be tough, but they haven't played anybody in the non-conference. That's what everybody's been kind of hounding them about. Curt Cignetti's a fantastic coach. I will give him credit, right? But at the same time, I just don't think Indiana is that good. They're on fraud watch for me, too. Luke Altmaier is the real deal. Brett Bielema is the real deal. Give me Illinois money line at +210.
Indiana money line.
Illinois money line.
Illinois money line.
Illinois money
So
line. Right now,
you
Indiana's
like
a
Brett Bielema's
6.5.
squad.
Yes, Indiana right now is a 6.5-point favorite. So give me Illinois at money line +210.
All right, down go the Hoosiers. Number 4, Miami in South Beach, hosting Florida. Miami, 7-point favorite, 7.5, depending on where you get it. Over under is 50.5. Florida, they're kind of in trouble, right?
Yes.
1-2 through 3 games.
Yeah, DJ Lagway's not looked great, right? I mean, he's thrown a lot of interceptions. He's, there's a lot of hype around DJ Lagway heading into the season, and he really has not shown out to, be what he is projected to be. Does he bounce back against Miami? It's going to be very tough. I like Miami in this one at -7. I think they win by. This is going to be maybe crazy. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns in South Beach. All right.
I think Florida's in trouble.
Florida,
big trouble.
If they're going to be 1-3, that's trouble that our friends from out west are experiencing right now. I would say one more, just kind of an interesting one. Nebraska hosting Michigan. Michigan 1.5-point dogs. Nebraska, not the program that's necessarily been playing their best football. They had a nice win over Cincinnati, and essentially a pick'em game. Over under is 47.5.
So Nebraska has not beaten a ranked team since 2016. That continues this weekend. I understand Michigan, they have a lot of different stuff going on right now, obviously, right? With Sharon Moore and the suspension. Bryce Underwood, I think, is still a really good quarterback. I think they have a very good squad, but at the same time, I'm just not crazy about Nebraska. I think Dylan Raiola is a fine quarterback. I think that they've got an okay squad, but I just don't see it happening. I think Michigan goes into Lincoln and knocks them off.
So you think that continues? Michigan ranked number 21 in the country. All right, let's flip over to Big 12. I know that you like South Carolina over Mizzou on the money line, so we don't even have to do that one.
Of course.
Oklahoma State at home. This game is tonight, hosting Tulsa. Talk about a team that is right now in the dumps. The Pokes. They are 10-point favorites, however, against their in-state rival, the Golden Hurricane, over under 54.5.
Golden Hurricane is the number 1 mascot that I cannot beat in a fight.
That's right. I remember that.
Yes, they are very tough. It's a hurricane made of gold. Look, Oklahoma State, they're weird. They're so weird, man. I just don't know what to make out of them. I don't know if
Haney is going to be out for at least a few more weeks.
Yeah.
Zane Flores, 67 passing yards total, 2 interceptions against Oregon. 69-3 they lost.
I know. That's the thing. It's like, as I understand State, it's Tulsa, and there's like sort of a big brother, little brother. Hey, you're our little brother, in-state rival kind of guy. Not even a rival. I don't even know if Oklahoma State considers them a rival, but Tulsa's going to have kind of a chip on their shoulder, and they're kind of catching Oklahoma State at a vulnerable spot right now. I kind of like Tulsa to cover the spread at 10. I don't think they'll win this one, but it'll be close.
They've not been a very great program recently,
No,
Tulsa,
no,
but
no, no.
Oklahoma State, man.
The Fighting Savion Morrisons.
Right. It's a rare day that you lose by 66 and then are favored by double digits. That's the situation. That one tonight at 6:30. This next one, I'm kind of bummed. It's the same time frame as Texas Tech and Utah. TCU hosting SMU. Frogs are home favorites. They are giving 6.5, over under 63.5.
By the way, DJ Warner, I don't believe he has any stats on the year so far. So that's not looking great for DJ Warner. But again, he's back home. Happy for him. All that good stuff. Once a Jayhawk, always a Jayhawk. Go try to put a positive spin on it. I like TCU, man. What I saw from them against North Carolina. Now, is North Carolina frauds? Is Bill Belichick a good college coach? We're still not sure. But what I saw in that North Carolina game, TCU, North Carolina, TCU looked very good. I like Josh Hoover a lot. Give me TCU. They're winning by a touchdown, over a touchdown.
Well, here's the game of the week in the Big 12, right? For anybody who doesn't have an allegiance to any particular team. Number 16, Utah, 3-0, hosting number 17, Texas Tech, also 3-0. The Utes are minus 3.5, over under 57.5.
Man, Devin Dampier, he's really showing out. I think that he has had a stellar year. Now, granted, I thought UCLA was going to be better than they were, which is already a low bar. They fired Deshaun Warner, right? Nico Iamaleava, he's not looking good.
I think it's
Iamaleava.
Right.
That does sound right. I'm surprised he's not left UCLA already. But yeah, I thought they were going to be a little bit better than anticipated. Turns out no. So that win against UCLA isn't exactly shining as much as it did whenever Utah did beat UCLA. I like Texas Tech in this one. I like a money line plus 145. I love the I love the value there. I think Texas Tech's a real deal. I am fully bought in on them. What they have shown me, Texas Tech feels like they're coming back. So I think I like Texas Tech. I understand it is in Utah. It's going to be tough, but Texas Tech, just a good damn program.
Yeah, Dampier's been good. Baron Morton, 11 touchdowns for Texas Tech. They haven't really been tested. They did beat Oregon State 45-14 in what's been their closest game thus far. Don't call me Central Florida. Don't call me the Golden Knights. The UCF Knights hosting North Carolina. UCF is minus 7, over under 46.5 out by Disney.
So I think this is going to be the game that we really understand the full scope of how Bill Belichick runs his college squad. They're 7-point dog right now against a not great UCF squad. But again, Scott Frost, he's back in Orlando. We'll see. This is going to be tough. I'm not going to touch this line here, but I will go ahead and go with the under 46.5. I think it's going to kind of be a dogfight.
Baylor hosting Arizona State, another really good game. This is at 6:30 on Fox. The Bears at home are minus 2.5, over under 60.5.
Man, is it crazy to me that I like the over in this one? I mean, I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I like Arizona in this game as well. I understand it's in Waco, but Baylor's lost in Waco already this year to a relatively
Top
good
25.
Auburn. But I'm not fully in on Auburn, so I think they're still on fraud watch. So I like Arizona State in this one. They bounce back after losing to Mississippi State. I think they're going to be a really, really tough team in the Big 12 this year. Give me Arizona State at money line plus 110. They're going to win this game in Waco. It's going to go over 60.5.
The only loss for Arizona State, who's 2-1, was at Mississippi State. Sam Leavitt hasn't been great statistically. 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Sawyer Robertson has been great. For Baylor. But yeah, that'll be an entertaining one at 6:30. Also at 6:30, BYU travels to Greenville to take on East Carolina. How about this line, Dan? ECU at home plus 6.5, over under 49.5. BYU's only given up 3 points all year.
I don't understand where they got this line from. This is actually kind of crazy.
It's almost like somebody knows something.
That's the thing, is like whenever I see something
no
like this,
what,
I'm like,
Vegas
maybe
wins.
either I'm looking through this and I'm like, wow, that's insane. The obvious pick here is to go BYU minus 6.5, but also those Vegas guys, they've taken a lot of my money. So maybe I don't know what's going on. I'm still going to go with my gut and say BYU minus 6.5. feels like it could be a beatdown, but East Carolina, who knows, man? I think this could potentially be a close game, but my gut tells me BYU.
It's a battle of the square states here. Colorado minus 12.5 hosting Wyoming. 45.5 is the over/under.
You know what's fun? Both of their football fields are the same shape as their state. You think they did that on purpose?
That's crazy. Yeah. Why doesn't everybody do that?
I know, right? Isn't that insane?
We're really close here.
Very
really
close.
Yeah.
Very, very close here in Kansas. Colorado has not looked good. They still have their third string quarterback kind of at the helm right now. Dion said it's kind of his job until he loses it. Does he lose it in this game? We have no idea. I like Caden Salter. I like Juju Lewis. I like both those guys, but right now they have a different guy at quarterback, sort of leading the way there. I like Colorado in this game to win. 12.5 is kind of a big line. It all depends on their quarterback play and how well he winds up doing. My gut tells me Colorado minus 12.5. It's going to be really close to that line.
Last one, KU at home hosting West Virginia. It depends where you see it, but CBS listed as KU minus 13.5, over under 54.5.
Yeah, it depends on where you see it. Like you said, I mean, I've seen it 13.5. I've seen it 11.5 some places, right? So it is going to be a little bit tough, I think. And this goes against everything, my entire morals, everything that I've ever said. I know I always say Kansas covers, Kansas wins. Kansas doesn't cover in this one. 13.5 just too big of a line for me. I do like Kansas to win, though. I mean, Kansas right now, they're at minus 500. I think that they win this one relatively easily, but by 2 touchdowns, that's kind of a big ask. West Virginia covers, Kansas wins. Give me the over 54.5 is what I'm seeing on DraftKings right now. I think it just gets over that line. I think this game's gonna be floating around 56.
56. That'd be crazy if that actually is on the money.
Hey,
that would be
market.
impressive. That would be
if
impressive.
that happens, I'm clipping this out. I'm putting it out on social media.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, we're live at HY-VEE. We're going to talk a little bit of Chiefs, and we're going to talk a little bit of NFL game picks later on in the show. But we're going to have our sports stock market segment after this. Come say hey, HY-VEE, Clinton and Castle. Thanks for watching on KansasNation.com.
This is Dale Highshaw, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright. We're live at HY-VEE. $2.99 Jack's frozen pizza. You can also get a $2.99 Frito-Lay Doritos chips with purchase of 2. I don't think that's going to be a problem for guys like you or guys like me. But yeah, come on by and get these great deals all weekend long, Friday to Sunday here at HY-VEE on Clinton and Castle.
$1.68 per pound green seedless grapes. You can't get them anywhere for less than $2 a pound anywhere else in town. So swing by HY-VEE. They also have $7 grab-and-go pizzas here only on Fridays, every single Friday at HY-VEE. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, what do I want for dinner? I'm feeling like pizza. Come to HY-VEE because it's the best bang for your buck. You're going to save a ton of money and eat some pretty dang good pizza while you're here.
We're going to have sports stock market. We're also going to hear from Tate and Nagy. Plus, we'll do a preview of KU West Virginia. If you missed that a little bit earlier, we'll have that later in the show. Maybe some NFL game picks as well. But first, we're going to update you on whose stock is up, whose stock is down in the world of sports, as we do every Friday. Dan, in the honor of game picks, I want to get this going, saying, first of all, stock is down on putting your money where your mouth is. I mentioned this yesterday. Man, I liked the over. I liked the Dolphins cover.
That's right.
You said the words out loud. 12.5 is a really big line, and yet you still laid the points with the Bills. You just couldn't do it. I, again, didn't put my money where my mouth was, but I did like Dolphins to cover in an over game. I also like Tyreek Hill plus 180 anytime touchdown. But, hey, you know what? You can't win if you don't play, and I proved that.
You didn't, so no money was put down by you.
No money was put down. I got to bask in the triumph, if you will.
3 for 3 then on your picks.
I think I had HN 100 plus.
I
think I said that on the show as well, and I think he got to 91 or
the
92.
The way that I go about, if I'm not super confident when I go, oh, this isn't an official one, I just have a good feeling about it.
But, okay.
Man, power to you.
You could take credit for it if you.
True.
If you get it right.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah. All the ones that I miss, I never bring up again on the show. But if I do hit a pick, I will not shut up about it.
You're going to hear it. In fact, I got to bring up this stat that I forgot to mention earlier because stock is also down on Tua. I get it. He's played worse games than he played last night. I don't think at least I can't remember a quarterback whose footballs look worse coming out of their hand than Tua. Everything is a duck. It seems
I mean,
like, and
is it
sometimes
just
it's not
because
even
it's
in the
weird
same
to
zip
see a
code.
lefty throw it, or?
No, it's not. He's
Okay.
not. He's not even throwing spirals, man. You shouldn't have to say spiral when you're talking about an NFL quarterback.
That's
But
true. That's true.
combined Thursday Night Football, Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa combined to average 1.5 air yards per completion. 1.5.
Wow, that's
The lowest
insane.
mark in a game since 2016. Allen attempted only one pass over 10 air yards, while Tua completed as many passes behind the line of scrimmage as past it. 11 behind the line of scrimmage and 11
Man.
past it. That is according to the NFL. So, yeah, not exactly airing it out there in
No.
Western New York last night.
No,
Bills
but
did survive.
Bills did survive, and Josh Allen. I had Josh Allen over 25 rushing yards. He's on like minus 150. Like that was a relatively easy bet that I believe I said it on air. But no, watching Tua last night, I mean that was something that kind of came in my mind too. I was like, man, he's not throwing the ball down the field whatsoever. I mean, this is insane. Like I couldn't tell if it was just schemed up like that or if he just continued to hit the checkdowns or whatever it may be. They just love those smoke screens. Didn't know what it was, but man, I don't know how long of a leash, I guess, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, do you give A, Mike McDaniels, and B, Tua Tagovailoa if because they're
Neither are long.
So they're on the longest streak right now of not winning an NFL playoff game. It's been since 2000.
Yeah.
Almost since the 20th century, since almost the 1900s, they haven't won a playoff game.
Right.
That's unbelievable to me. I mean, everyone else, like they're like 2015. I think there was one that was like 2011. They're the longest by far. They haven't won a playoff game since it. Now they made the playoffs quite a few times, but just haven't won one since then. I mean, if you're Mike McDaniels, you have to somehow manage to get a wild card spot and somehow manage to actually win a playoff game if you want to stick around for any longer.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen. 0-3 are the Dolphins. Stock is up on rivalries. Dan, tell us about this as it relates to a future recruit.
So this is an incredible story. So this is per Jeff Goodman. So as we all know, Taylor Kinney, he's a highly touted recruit in the class of 26. A lot of people like him to, come to Kansas. There have been a few crystal balls, but still a lot of people hot on his trail as of right now. And apparently Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey both showed up to Tate Kinney's house for a midnight visit. And I believe
everything was cordial.
So, no, that's the thing. So I believe it was supposed to be Mark Pope first and then Pat Kelsey. All of a sudden, Mark Pope, he's late. So Pat Kelsey goes, well, hey, I'll just walk on in and introduce myself. And so he kind of took over Mark Pope's spot. Mark Pope comes in. They got into a fight in Tate Kinney's front lawn.
Allegedly.
It almost came to fisticuffs. It said the report said Tate Kinney's his stepdad had to step in and break up the fight. They were fighting in the front yard so much. I love this because this is reigniting one of my favorite rivalries, Louisville, Kentucky. Two guys who, obviously Mark Pope has some history with it, but two guys who are relatively new to their programs, and that's so much fun. I love to see this in-state stuff happening with guys just fighting over recruits.
See, and this doesn't happen when Louisville's got Kenny Payne and they're winning 3 games a year. So
Right.
Shout out to Pat Kelsey for the ridiculous turnaround. Louisville was an 8 seed. They were either 8 or 9 seed. Lost to Creighton in the first round of
they were in
the
the
tournament.
dumps though.
Oh my God, they won 3 games.
Yeah,
with Kenny Payne, a Louisville legend. But yeah, that is a crazy story if it's true from our sources.
Right. That's the thing. It's all sources. Now, Goodman is a relatively reliable source, I think. And this is all on message boards and things. And there's a lot of different sources saying that I believe nobody's come out and said that it's false yet. If that is any indication in terms of where this is kind of sitting. But could you imagine the buzz around town if Bill Self and Jerome Tang were fist fighting in front of some recruit's house? It would be unbelievable.
Coach Self would never do that.
No,
now,
and Coach Self would never do that. That's the thing. But it's just I love the fact that two absolute rival schools that hate each other, like Louisville and Kentucky, fighting. Granted, they didn't punch each other, but allegedly it came close. It said nearly came to blows in the front yard of Taylor Kinney's house. All this just for a guy to end up being a Jayhawk. I can't believe that they would do this when they just know that he's going to be a Jayhawk.
Oh man, well, hey, to be a bird on a branch in that scenario, if they're actually in the front yard, right? Well, hey, we're gonna get through the rest of these pretty quick because we want to make sure we get you a West Virginia breakdown and Tate Nagy as well. But stock is up on fun. This was just near and dear to my heart. I saw this earlier today, Daniel. The Big Ten, who previously only allowed 15 of their teams into their Big Ten conference tournament in men's and women's basketball, 15 of their 18. All 18 get to play. Everybody
Oh,
gets to play. And you know what? Like I
look at that.
always tell my daughter, you can't say you can't play. You don't do
Yes.
that in elementary school. You don't do that when you're 2 years old. And apparently you don't do that officially now in the Big Ten Conference. Nebraska, come on in. Northwestern, welcome. The Minnesota Golden Gophers, you get to play too. Rutgers, you're in. It doesn't matter. If you're in the
Man.
Big Ten, no matter how putrid your basketball program is, you get a chance. That's how God intended the conference tournaments to be. Everybody gets a chance.
So you're a big fan of participation trophies.
I'm a big fan of bigger brackets. I'm a big fan of bigger brackets.
All right, I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
If you don't love the Cinderella. I mean,
yeah, but I don't want to see.
you want to see, yeah, but you want to see Northwestern beating Ohio State in the Big Ten
Yeah,
tournament.
that'd be kind of
I
fun.
mean, it'd be great.
All right, that would be kind of fun. I'm with you there. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. It feels when you get over like 14 to 16 teams, I think you have to start cutting it off, I think. And then they have 18 teams, is that correct? So I don't love
No,
the
I
fact that
disagree. I wholly disagree.
all right,
All right,
fair
tell
enough.
us about
You-
Father
you-
Time, who always makes an appearance
That's
on
right.
Sports Stock
So
Market.
stock is down on Father Time. So apparently there is a football player who plays D3 at Lycoming College, a
course.
Division III school. There's a freshman on the defensive line for Lycoming College. He is 58 years old. His name is Tom Sillo. Apparently back in the 1980s, then this is her reports. He quit high school football to, get into the drug scene and just sort of dropped out of high school, didn't really do anything. He got cleaned up. He's been working for the city streets and parks department for 33 years. And he goes, you know what? I got my life cleaned up. I'm in relatively good shape. I'm going to give it the old college try, pun intended. And he went out for the team. Now he is a defensive lineman. He weighs, let's see,
227.
Yes, 6 foot, 227, plays
That's a good
defensive
build.
line. 58 years old. He is currently 4 years older than the head coach of Lycoming College.
See, this is very inspiring. It makes me wonder why Chris Courtwright isn't doing the same thing.
Right.
I mean, let's get Chris Courtwright a scholarship or something, somewhere to play collegiate football.
I
This
agree.
needs to happen. But
yeah, put him on the O-line, I think. Yeah.
Also, stocks up on Father Time, a World Series champion who admittedly hasn't been very good in the postseason in his career, but a first ballot Hall of Famer is hanging it up.
Yeah, he's hanging it up. Actually, today, I believe, is going to be his last start for the
Is that
Dodgers.
right?
I thought I heard that on the
Okay.
news somewhere. I think it's going to
Yes.
be today. It's going to be his last start. Clayton Kershaw officially hanging it up after 18
Yes,
years.
retiring at the end of the season.
At the end of the season, yeah. So we might still see him in some games, but as of right now, this is the last game that he's officially going to be starting for the Dodgers. So, I mean, shout out to Clayton Kershaw, but yeah, stocks up on Father Time. A lot of the greats that we grew up watching are starting to hang him up, man.
Absolutely. I feel like it started with like Albert Pujols when he retired. It's like,
Yeah.
man, this is Adrian Beltre.
I mean, you probably remember when Babe Ruth
Oh, there was.
retired.
It hadn't happened yet.
Yeah,
It hadn't,
no, it hadn't. Yeah, so Ty.
I was gonna say that the age thing hadn't happened yet. We got to get at least one.
You
one
were. I
every
know you
show.
were upset when Ty Cobb retired.
Of course.
I mean,
yes.
Walter
you got
Johnson.
Say the roommates in college thing.
Yeah. No, you were roommates with Babe.
We
in
got
college,
to
right?
get him some new jokes. That's a real bummer. All right, we got one or two more here on the sports stock market. What do you got,
Oh
Daniel?
man. So I got. Let's see. I got one. Stocks up on being relatable. So John Daly. This is actually last weekend, but it happened. This report came out
Anytime
after we
something
did our
happens
show.
with John Daly, it's going to be a great story.
It's got to be a great story. So John Daly, in theory, if you can take away one hole that he played in over this past weekend, he shot a 69. But John Daly on hole 12 at the Sanford Invitational on the Champions Tour shot a 19. That is by the way, I
It
thought
looks just like a scorecard that I have when I play golf.
it's I'm sure, right?
Some
Yeah,
lower
a lot
numbers
of
across the board,
birdies, a
but yeah.
couple of bogeys, and then all of a
And then
sudden
the
a
19.
19 out there. Yeah, I for some reason I thought that they stop at a circle 10. Maybe that's just a me thing. That was what I would do.
No. Double bogey depends who you play with.
Sure, that's fair. But shooting a 19, and then by the way, coming out the next hole on 13 and getting a par on a par 4.
Right.
I mean, that's unbelievable. For me, I would snap all my clubs in half and then go to the clubhouse and start drinking beers. But no, he stuck with it. He actually wound up going par, birdie, par to finish it out, and then he got a bogey on 18. But still, I mean, that's pretty good for putting up a 19 on a par 5, hole 12 at the Sanford Invitational.
I would say, how does that happen? But unfortunately, I know exactly how that happens.
We absolutely
know
how that
19.
happens.
We've all shot a 19, although we certainly don't write down the 19 when it actually happens.
For sure, absolutely.
So,
and then this would be the last one that I get to. Stock is up on reverse nepotism, or I guess it could be nepotism. I don't know how nepotism really works. So apparently, Seth Hyde, he's the play-by-play guy for the Newfoundland Regiment. They are a QHCL hockey team, minor league hockey. And as you know, they do 50-50 raffles, usually at professional sporting events. I am a dabbler in 50-50 raffles. Every time I go to a sporting event, I have to do it.
Your philanthropy, man, it really is something special.
It's not about philanthropy. It's about winning the money. But so Seth Hyde, he's the play-by-play announcer for the Newfoundland Regiment. And during the game, his own mother won $37,000 on the 50-50 jackpot. And he went on air saying, "Hey, look, guys, I swear this thing's not rigged. This is the most insane thing that's ever happened. But my mother just won the 50-50 raffle, $37,000. A cool moment to, have him kind of announce that in real time as his mom won the 50-50.
I hope the mom gets to keep it, because you never know when you have somebody who's an employee,
friends
like you said, the whole who knows nepotism thing. But I hope the mom gets to keep it. We don't know.
I certainly hope so.
Know, but yeah, that would be great.
But yeah, I just love. Well, it also makes me a little upset because I've never won a 50-50 raffle, and I've spent so much money on 50-50 raffles.
You have not spent money. You have donated.
I have donated a lot of money to great causes. That's what it's all about. Yes. But also, I want to win that money.
And if you win, you win. And if you don't, shucks.
Yeah.
Well,
but it makes you feel good. That's like moral gambling, right? You're like, all right, I'll gamble, but if I lose, the money's going to a great cause. And if I win, awesome, right?
Totally.
And also the money goes to a great cause. So
there you go. Yeah. Absolutely. That's our sports stock market for today. Hey, after this, we're going to hear from KU freshman wide receiver Tate Nagy. He spoke to reporters a little bit earlier this week. Plus, we'll talk a little KU football. And if we have time to squeeze in some Chiefs and NFL game picks, we'll do that as well. Thanks for listening and watching KansasNation.com.
Hey, this is Cole Ballard, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
We're live here at HY-VEE. KU in West Virginia, the Big 12 opener tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the new booth. We heard from KU freshman wide receiver and punt returner Tate Nagy a little bit earlier this week. Here he is.
My sophomore year in high school, I did. And it was pretty fun, but that was the last time I did that.
What was your reaction when the coaches came to you and said, "Hey, we'd like to try you out back there"?
I was super pumped up. In my recruiting process, Coach Leipold mentioned it to me about the punt returning, so I kind of knew they had an idea of that. But I was super excited when he came up to me and said I had a chance to do that.
What do you think you showed over the course of spring and the fall to give them confidence in putting you back there so early in your career?
The spring ball was good. That was more wide receiver. I can't really remember doing. I might have, but I can't remember doing punt returning spring ball. And then fall camp, that was really when it kind of showed. Me and Keaton back there and a couple of the other guys, we were all, just having fun, helping each other out, just trying to get everything down, and we just kind of went from there.
Did anything surprise you getting your first action in college? Some guys in the past talk about speed, right? What's the difference?
I would just say, like the pursuit of the defense. It's a little bit quicker, faster than high school. In high school, I would run around a little bit, and this time it's like you can kind of make one cut and then you kind of got to go. So I would say that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. How do you balance that, wanting to go make plays while also protecting yourself so you're not getting blindsided?
Yeah, I would say number one thing is just trust your guys in front of you. Those are all my guys, and so just trusting them and believing that they're going to do their job, and then just making that one move sometimes might be 2 or 3, but just kind of trust.
What was it like getting to have some action at wide receiver in that Wagner game a couple weeks back?
That was the best. Like, obviously you come here for wide receiver, and so when you actually get to play and hop in that game, it was pretty cool. And then to get a couple catches too was awesome. So it was just great being out there and being with those guys because we practiced so much, and to finally be able to have it pay off a little bit, it was pretty cool.
Some of the young guys get more action during the bye week. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, we do a good job of kind of getting everyone action in practice. So it wasn't too much of a difference, but it was good just getting reps and kind of staying in the loop with everything. Just because you have bye doesn't mean you kind of just lack off. So we kept on playing hard at practice and doing all that kind of stuff.
Are there any punt returners that you studied, college or pro, that you just try to take some stuff from?
One guy I've definitely I've gotten a little bit of advice from and looked at kind of, it was Nico Remigio for the Chiefs. He's a great returner. I mean, what he does when he catches the ball super smooth. And then one other guy I get advice from is Coach Tobe, special teams coordinator with the Chiefs too. So he helped me out, just technique and all that kind of stuff. And so they're good. That's definitely 2 people that helped me out a lot.
Did you approach them, or did they find out you were doing this and wanted to help you out?
It was a little bit of both. Nico, he texted me, and so that was pretty cool to get a text from him and give me advice before my first college game. And then Coach Tobe, he would come to a little bit of my high school games, and so he kind of knew that I would maybe punt return in college, so he helped me out.
How much of an advantage is it for you getting advice from the best in the sport so early in your career?
I think it's definitely a little bit of an advantage because, with those guys and what they give, like all that advice, it's up to you to take it. And so when you take it and then it pays off a little bit, it's pretty sweet to see that in real life.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but there's the 4-game redshirt rule. You comfortable playing 12, 13 plus games?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to do what, Coach Leipold and T-Sam and all those coaches want me to do. I mean, I think we have a good connection here and just communicate with them at the end of the day.
I guess more broadly speaking, what's the adaptation been like to wide receiver after being a quarterback in high school?
First off, I'll always miss quarterback. Quarterback is, I think it's a great position. I like having a little bit of the control, but wide receiver has been awesome. It's like every single day I learn something new, and I love learning the game of football. It's one of my favorite things to do, and so every single day it's like literally today I learned something, and it's so cool to just be able to get better and better like every single day. So I think that's the biggest change from going to quarterback to wide receiver.
Are there any similarities that you draw between being quarterback and being like a punt returner in terms of like how you see the field?
I would say a lot of that is like hole shots, like knowing like when your quarterback can see you. I think having a good feel for that would help out the quarterback, but I would say that's the biggest thing.
Freshman Tate Nagy speaking to the media a little bit earlier this week. Hey, after this, we're going to have a word on the Chiefs, maybe an NFL game pick or two, and we're going to talk KU West Virginia. Thanks for watching KansasNation.com.
This is Daniel Courtwright, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
John Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back here for Rock Chalk Sports. We are live at HY-VEE.
That's right.
Clinton and Castle, come on by. They got $2.99 pork loin, back ribs, $2.99 Jimmy Dean bacon as well. That's speaking my language. $1.99 24-pack bottled water, HY-VEE brand as well. Great deals going on Friday through Sunday this weekend.
Also, $2.99 for a 6-pack of Pepsi soda. I mean, that's a heck of a deal if I say so myself. Also, come by today, Friday, to get a $7 hot grab-and-go pizza, the best bang for your buck in town. Love their pizza out here at HY-VEE. Shout out to Keegan and John, Jen, all the people here at HY-VEE for hosting us on Fridays. Really appreciate that. So swing by, come say hi.
Chiefs, Giants, Sunday Night Football. Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites. We'll get to a game pick or two here, NFL, before we talk KU, West Virginia. But Dan, what needs to happen for the Chiefs to avoid bringing home an 0-3 record with the Ravens coming to town next week?
I mean, you got to establish a run game, right? I mean, looking at it, Kareem Hunt has not had a great start to the season. Isaiah Pacheco has not had a great start to the season. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher. That cannot happen because that's not Patrick Mahomes' game. So you need to be able to establish a run game. It's going to be a little tough against the New York Giants because they do have Kayvon Thibodeau as well as Abdul Carter on that front line. They have a tough defense. Again, it's the Giants, so you're not necessarily concerned about it, but you don't want Russ Wilson to kind of be riding off that momentum from the last game. Like you said, 450 yards. Now, how much of it was a bad Dallas defense? That could have been quite a bit of it, but Malik Neighbors still does kind of scare me. So Trent McDuffie in the secondary is going to have a big game. You can't let Russ get hot. I don't think he will get hot, but still, it could always happen in the weirdest of ways, right? That's how the NFL kind of works. So establish a run game, and then the secondary has got to be key on defense.
Since we have Patrick Mahomes and an elite defense, we're going to be confident that the Chiefs will be in the playoffs no matter what, even if they lose. But realistically, after this game, 2 of your next 3 are against the Ravens and the Lions, 2 teams that could be playing in February. So you got to beat the Giants on Sunday night. Very important game. 7:20 on NBC. And let's do a quick game pick or two, right? NFL.
Yeah,
I know
not?
before we got to this segment, Dan, you were saying off air there is one particular line that you love, which tells me I gotta fade it.
So it's the Dallas Cowboys. They are a 1.5-point favorite at Chicago. I think this is the week that Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, they figure it out. I think that they win this one easily. It's at plus 100. I'm hammering so remind me again. I forget every single week.
The Bears
the Bears are a 1.5-point dog. Do I take the point?
You got to take the point.
I'll take the point.
Yep.
So give me Chicago plus 1.5. I love them there. It's in Chicago. Dallas has not impressed me whatsoever to this point.
Yeah, interesting matchups across. Of course, the Bengals are not going to have Joe Burrow. Jake Browning is their starting quarterback.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are going to be watching that game. Maybe like their parents.
Yeah, as they head to US Bank Stadium, and the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy,
also out. Carson Wentz.
That's a classic -3 for the home team. Vikings host the Bengals. And we just found earlier today, found out the fact that the Washington football team will not have their quarterback. Jaden Daniels ruled out for Sunday's matchup against the Raiders. The football team, 2.5-point favorites at home against the Raiders. So that's interesting as well. I do like the Browns plus 8.5 at home against the Packers. Yes, we're both very high on the Packers. We spoke about that earlier this week, but 8.5 at home feels to me like Flacco's going to cover that number. Last night, Dan, we had a Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge game, Dolphins Bills.
That's right.
You know where I'm going? I'm going to a Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge game. Bucks hosting the Jets. Give me Tampa -6.5. I like the Buccaneers at home. The Jets were a team that I liked the plus 6.5 against the Bills last week. And then as I was watching that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Jets. Give me the Bucks -6.5.
That makes sense. I love that. Yeah, 2 different Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge games. You know, any weird game that we see, I'm just going to call it a Josh Johnson revenge game. That's what I'm going to you could do that with virtually any team.
Jesse Chavez in baseball.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, also, I mean, for the Chiefs, I do like the Chiefs at -6. I know it's in the Meadowlands. It could be a relatively close game, but again, the defense has got to be good and you have to establish a run game. I think this game is going to go over the 44.5. I think Patrick Mahomes has over 3 touchdowns in this one.
Hey, let's transition to KU football. Big 12 opener tomorrow. The Hawks and West Virginia. Both teams are 2-1. West Virginia defeated Robert Morris in their opener 45-3. Then they lost in Athens, not to Georgia, to Ohio 17-10 in their second game before winning an emotional one. Backyard brawl last week. In overtime, 31-24 over Pitt. So they don't have Jaheim White, one of their top players. The running back is out for the season, but they are 2-1. And you can tell from those scores I just gave, 3 points allowed, 17 points allowed 24 points allowed. Their defense has been solid. They lead the league in sacks, do the Mountaineers. They might be getting an additional player as well to help on that front, but kind of a middling team toward the bottom part of the Big 12 in terms of team stats, which doesn't tell the whole story when it's not, to this point of the season, the same teams facing the same teams, but a left-handed quarterback and a challenge, even though KU is looked at as the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about this. Like, when you have a left-handed quarterback, when you have a good left-handed quarterback, it doesn't really matter because they usually are able to go through all their read progressions. Nico Markell's not a good left-handed quarterback, so he's going to be focusing on his left, Kansas's right side of the ball when Kansas is on defense. So it's going to be a big-time game for those guys on the other side of that. They have a very fast-tempoed offense, right? I mean, that's the storyline the entire time. They have a very fast-tempoed offense. They also like to run the ball a lot, which isn't exactly set you up for success in terms of when you have fast-tempoed offense, because we haven't seen that home run ball from West Virginia quite yet, right? That's what happens when you have a fast-paced offense is they try to get you sped up. They try to get the defense on their heels, and they try to hit that home run ball and beat you deep when you make mistakes when they're going so fast. So Kansas has to play assignment football on the defensive end of things. I have a couple keys to the game. My first key to the game is on the defensive side of the ball. Kansas needs to load the box, stop the run game. Ty Edwards came in for Jaheim White. Jaheim White was the best player on that West Virginia team. He's out for the season. Ty Edwards came in, had 140 yards against Pitt, looked really, really good, but also they only averaged 3 yards per carry against Pitt. So not exactly fantastic in terms of, just per attempt, not great. He still had a very good game, did Ty Edwards. So you have to load the box, make the quarterback uncomfortable, flush him out of the pocket, and make him throw on the run. That's the way that you stop them, because Nico Markell on the run is not a good quarterback. That's how you stop that offense. On the offensive side of the ball for Kansas, West Virginia likes to bring a lot of pressure from their linebackers. They like to blitz quite a bit. They have a very good pass rush. They have two guys coming off the edge who are fantastic. They have sort of a Ferrari sitting in the garage, as you like to say, and Jamori Robinson, who's making his debut. He was the AAC defensive player of the year last year, 10.5 sacks with UTSA, been dealing with some eligibility issues. So that's a kind of a thing to keep your eye out for. So you have to hit those hot routes, those blitz routes. You have to get the ball out quick if you're JD. So you have to get those blitz routes. So Cam Pickett, Bryson Canty, Deshaun Hanukkah, those are the guys you have to be looking for to have a big game. You're not going to hit the home run ball with Emmanuel Henderson. You're not going to have those 50-yard bombs that you like to see. It's going to be a slow matriculation down the field, but a lot of quick passes from JD.
Hey, first 3 plays, I'm calling it right now. We're going to have a 50-yard bomb to Emmanuel Henderson. You heard it here first, Dan Courtwright. No, we're going to cut that. We are going to cut that and play that next week.
I hope
when Manny breaks free for one. But no, absolutely. And for Kansas, you got to get the run game going. I mean, we talked about it throughout the week. The last 2 weeks, 9 carries, 11 yards between the 2 running backs and Daniel Highshaw and Le'Shawn Williams. Not just for the fact that helps you maintain possession, which you couldn't do against Mizzou, and establishes a little bit of dominance in the trenches, but also it helps out your quarterback. Jalen Daniels was not helped out by anybody against Mizzou. That's the bottom line. I'm talking about the running backs, the offensive line, wide receivers. We had some drop passes, but also defensively, Kansas didn't help out by getting off the field, and certainly complementary football is something we talked about a lot, how Kansas didn't quite have enough complementary football against Mizzou, and that's why they lost. So JD6 is going to have to be the best version of himself, but in order for that to happen, guys got to help. If Kansas wins the fundamentals, and if Kansas at least plays even in the turnover battle, which I expect 2 or 3 turnovers out of Nico Markell, then the Jayhawks will be fine. This is very important, though. Kansas has to win this game. KU's got to knock off West Virginia. If you do, you're feeling good with another home game against another middle to bottom tier team in Cincinnati the following week. So you got to get this one by any means necessary. I don't care if it's ugly. Yeah, we want complimentary football. We want everybody to be the best version of themselves. You just have to have more points at the end and then focus on Cincinnati. Get off to a good start in Big 12 play.
Yeah, 100%. And this is going to be a key game for Kansas, right? Because you're coming off that loss, but you also had an entire bye week to get ready for West Virginia. You saw West Virginia against Pitt. They're coming off of a really good win against their arch rival. So this is going to be a tough game. Yes, it's in Lawrence. So obviously the crowd is going to be awesome. We're wearing the black Hawk uniforms. I'm very excited about this game, but you have to win because right now you're 0-0, like you said. You're 0-0 in conference play. You got basically your whole schedule ahead of you to try to make it to Arlington to play for the Big 12 championship. It starts here in Lawrence tomorrow at 5 o'clock against West Virginia.
KU against West Virginia. Coverage starts on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield at 3:30. Come on out to HY-VEE this weekend. Game day sale going on today through Sunday. And we'll be back on the air with Rock Chalk Sports, of course, on Monday. For Easton John, our producer and director, for Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman saying we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching on KansasNation.com.